let them stop using the Western world entrepreneurs as a yardstick for measuring. Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard, Bill Gates did same, so I don't need education to be a successful entrepreneur. That's completely insane. So I wouldn't advise someone to adhere to such mentality. You need to save some money and grow your business.
Hello and welcome to the ALU podcast, Entrepreneur Leadership in Africa, where we explore more on being a bold entrepreneur leader. I'm your host, Savannah Olo, and today I have with me Epafrit. Epafrit is a founder and CEO of Bongalo, an online booking platform that is functioning quite successfully in Cameroon and Rwanda, with prospects of expansion. He also happens to be a student at the ALU Rwanda campus studying international business, trade, and commerce. Today we dive deep into past experiences and lessons that have made us who we are today. On top of that, aspirations that build the empires we've heard of throughout our podcast episodes. Can you take a wild guess how long it was before he joined university? What are some of the lessons you've learned in the course of being a bold entrepreneur leader? Well, stay tuned and know it all. Join us as we uncover a whole new world from our diverse community of entrepreneur leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Epafrit. Epafrit, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us today at the ALU podcast.
It's a pleasure to be on your podcast, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Most definitely. So I decided to kick off this episode with a small icebreaker. What is your favorite dish and what makes it special to you?
So yeah, thank you for that question. It's very impressive. Actually, my favorite dish is it's something we call fufu corn and jama jama.
Okay.
So this is maize flour that is cooked, and then you have some vegetables that is very specific to my country.
Okay.
It's not really found across in different parts of Africa so easily. So it's prepared and then eaten like as a dish, and it's my favorite because I grew up eating this fufu corn as a kid,
Yeah.
and it was like a daily meal for us as a peasant family, and then it just became a part of me, and no matter who I am, I want to go back and eat that food. So even I try to cook it myself. So yeah, it's really special to me.
All right. And just for our listeners today, where are you speaking to us from and where are you from originally?
So I'm currently speaking to you from Cameroon, and I'm originally from Cameroon as well.
Okay.
I am actually in my hometown, Bamenda, as we speak.
All right, great. Perfect. So let's get right into the episode of today. And my first question to you would be, when did you first notice that entrepreneurship is a path that you would be embracing?
So I think I noticed entrepreneurship was a path for me to embrace while I was still in high school. As a tradition in my home, when you finish high school, you're expected to write, government entrance examinations into government schools to become a civil servant in one or two of the different sectors in the country.
Yeah.
So I realized that I passed without writing those exams, so that I already break the tradition that we had to do that. And then I discovered that I was an innovative person, someone who sees something, asks a lot of questions, and want to make it better by adding something new to it. And then through this means, I realized that I don't like doing routines, and I like innovative processes, like changing different things, doing things differently, using different approaches. And this was not very possible with the conventional setup of working with the government. So I realized I would only be an entrepreneur who brings up new ideas every day in a different setup, and try to bring things together. So that was the initial point at which I discovered that this is the path I was going to really work on, working as an innovative person in my own business someday, which will also give me the chance to be able to really implement the ideas that come to my mind of innovating on something that we build, moving forward every day.
Right. All right. Great. So, speaking of innovation, you are the founder and a CEO, I believe, of Bongalo. And it's been 3 years running, I hope successfully. So, how then would you describe your current entrepreneurial journey with your company?
So, my entrepreneurial journey with Bongalo hasn't been a very easy one for several reasons. But it has been a very interesting one for many reasons as well. So the very first step is that in 2017, I founded this company which was all about, and I founded this company just back home here in my hometown, same town here in Bamenda, and it
Right.
was more about a problem I faced personally when I moved back to the city of Bamenda from Yaoundé, where I previously worked, and I was looking for a home to stay. So I couldn't find a place to stay that met the different specifications that I was looking for. And it gave me it took me so long, about 3 weeks to a month, to be able to find a place that was close to what I was looking for. And
Okay.
after that experience, I felt really bad, and I decided to see if there could be something that would be done to solve that issue, because I knew a lot of people were facing it as well. So we came up with a concept that made we think if you bring images, information, price, and location of different houses in the city to
Right.
one central location, and people could just select among these locations, it would be a great opportunity for them to, cut the stress and the expenses that they incur in looking for a place to stay, just like myself. So that's when the idea of Bungalow came up in 2017, and by then I just came back from Israel as well, where I was also participating in a different business accelerator there, which I was also working on a different business by that time. So we built Bungalow as a mobile app where you could find places to stay for long stay, and it was mainly for real estate. So in 2018, I got the request of a friend who visited Rwanda, where I currently was studying at the African Leadership University, which I started in 2017.
Okay.
So he wanted to move over to Rwanda, and he said, "Okay, I need a place to stay." And then I offered to rent a room in my house for the time being that he was going to stay. So this grew because many people now start sending requests, and he recommended more people to us, and I started hosting people in my house. So I saw the opportunity in that as well. And the bungalow that we started back home, due to the political crisis in my country, had been on hold. So this gave me the opportunity to remodel the current bungalow that we had to be a booking platform. And so we innovated, we remodeled it to a booking platform because we now saw that people are looking for places to stay. And we only did not host people from my country, we hosted people from different countries around across Africa as well. But the main problem that we faced in the whole process was how they paid for where they were coming from, because they needed to confirm that they are actually coming by making a payment. So how would they do that? Many of them didn't want to use their cards for several reasons. And secondly, we didn't have that platform that could permit them to use their cards. So we remodeled, and then we came up with the concept of, you know what, let's put these things together in one place where you can pay with mobile money. So this is just an intro into the journey of my business of starting up as a real estate platform and then remodeling to a booking platform that we saw a need in the market to make it really solve that. So it's been really, difficult in the sense that you have to be able to think across different sectors, as in try to incorporate something that
Right.
really you identify from scratch. And it's very rewarding journey for me also, because I get to learn a lot on a daily basis. There are a ton of things that I've learned within a very short period of time with this business, as in, structuring a business, building a brand, and being able to work with people from different backgrounds. Just as a point, we've worked with over 8 nationalities on Bongalo so far as a team, specifically from African countries. And it's such a blessing because I get to learn more different cultural practices from these people and also see their different backgrounds. And it's so enriching. So these are just some of the rewarding things on, being an entrepreneur and also working on Bongalo as well.
Great. So, what would you say is your MVP? Because, at this point, you're competing with companies like Airbnb, you're competing with like Booking.com, Tripadvisor, what have you. What would you say brings that unique element Bongalo does for the industry itself? Because, you're reserving spaces for people to stay in whenever they reach a particular country.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think that's a question that people get to ask a lot. Like, we don't speak at any time without me getting to explain what the unique value proposition that we are putting out there in the market. But the first thing that I like to point out is, okay, first, we don't have just an MVP right now. We have a product that is live in the market and is really gaining grounds.
Right.
So, I'll say first is the fact that this is an African booking platform. This is built by us Africans, and we are selling in Africa. So
Yeah.
that's already a pride for us that we built something, and we are proud of it, and it's working effectively. So this is already something that tells us we don't always need to depend on the foreign companies or the Western companies that build softwares and extend to Africa. These are
Yeah.
things we can also do here, and we can also solve our own problems within our context. In our context, contextualizes to our own setting. So that's first thing. The second is the fact that with Bungalow, you don't you users have the options of paying for their reservations with Master, Visa, and Visa cards, and PayPal as well. But then the most important one of it is that mobile money, being one of the most inclusive financial technology solution on the African continent, is what we are leveraging. So this means that because from the experience that we had from the users that led us to building what we have today, is that they didn't want to use their cards online. In Africa, a lot of people, those who even own bank cards, those Visa cards and MasterCards, are people who put a lot of money on their bank accounts and they don't want to use these cards for online transactions, which means they don't want a situation where there could be a mistake and a lot of money is, debited from their account. They don't want the process of going to the bank asking for refunds, which takes a lot of time and also, makes it doesn't come back with the charges that the Visa already debited from it. So it is more convenient and really effective to use mobile money payment. Mobile money is a form of payments that the telecom companies like MTN, Safaricom, M-Pesa in Kenya, they use. So which means is they send a prompt to your phone, you need to validate, and you see the
Right.
actual value or the actual amount that you're paying for.
Yeah.
So this is something we've incorporated in our system, and we are already fully operational in 6 African countries with this technology. So this is something our competitors don't have, and I don't think they are going to have that easily for several reasons. So this already gives us an edge because the users that were not able to pay on their platform with their mobile money wallet will be able to pay on our platform with their mobile money wallet. In addition to that, there are several places listed out there. There are several places out there in the different cities in Africa which are not listed on our competitors' platform, for the reason being that they don't have a way to collect their payouts when they
Yeah.
receive bookings from guests.
Okay. So
They
would you
only
would
pay
you
out
call that
solutions
would
that.
you call that a major opportunity that you've created for yourself as
Yes,
Bongalo, yeah?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is absolutely a great opportunity that we are creating for these vacant apartments and guest houses that exist across different cities in Africa. So
Right.
this means that with mobile money as a payout solution to this host, and also bank transfer, because for a country like Rwanda, bank transfer takes a couple hours to be affected when you're transferring locally. So when guests when host list places on our platform, we ask them for two payout methods. It's either you put both or you put one, which is the bank account details or the mobile money account details. So when you receive a booking from a guest, we, according to the cancellation policy, we make settlements to either your bank account or your mobile money wallets, which is very straightforward and very, very effective and very cost effective. This means you pay little or no fee on those transactions, as opposed to those who were struggling to receive payouts from those other platforms through PayPal, which is very expensive. PayPal also only operates in a maximum of 9 countries in Africa. So think about it, in 54 countries, how would that be? So that is an opportunity that we have given to host to be able to list on our platform, and this is a great a value proposition that we have against our competitors as well. So we have a unique selling point, which are these things I've mentioned, and we are also looking to grow the African tourism as an African travel and tourism company as well, in that sense.
This podcast is brought to you by Venture by AOU, a free course for entrepreneurs. Do you want to know how to overcome entrepreneurial challenges from real-life experiences? Well, Venture is an online course designed for young and aspiring entrepreneurs. It features more than 10 AOU entrepreneur leaders who will guide and inspire young entrepreneurs. You can find Venture on venture.aoueducation.com. Once again, venture.aoueducation.com. Venture, a course for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. Now back to our conversation. Right, I think from what you've said, just maybe it may not be sufficient to blanket statement it, but I feel like from what you've explained so far, you're trying to bridge a gap between the international market of apps that we have out there, the Airbnbs, the Booking.com, and sort of bringing it back home to ensure that the local people within our continent know how to find certain resources, and build a space for them in order for them to have the mindset of built for Africans by Africans. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think you're correct. And as we all know, this is business, and we also in the market to exist. So we also, struggling to get our own share of the market. We just need a share of the market to be able to serve this group of customers. We like I mentioned earlier,
Right.
we've been able to incorporate the other payments, which means our diasporas who are coming back home can already use our platform and also make payments with their cards, even if they are not having mobile money wallets on the continent. So this means we are targeting them as well, and we are also targeting the travel within the continent by locals that are circulating within the same country, cross-border within the same continent, and they can use that option of paying with mobile money wallet. So we are selling the fact that this is an authentic African business and African technology that is built on the continent and is really selling. And also we are not just limited to that. Everybody else is open to using our platform to be able to, make reservations for wherever they are traveling on the continent once we are present in those countries.
Right. And what would you say are the 3 to 5 key lessons that you wish you knew when starting out on your journey? I mean, earlier you mentioned that it took 7 years after high school for you to get into college or university. So what would you say have been the key lessons that have guided you to this day on your entrepreneurial journey?
Well, the very first key lesson would be I wish I knew that I needed a quality education and not just education, but also quality education to become a really great entrepreneur. I think a lot of folks out there today are deceived by the fact that you don't need school to be an entrepreneur. You don't need to have a degree. You don't need. No, actually, it's not about not having a degree, or it's not about having a degree rather, but it's about school to me wasn't about going and then passing the courses and validating the courses and then grabbing a degree.
Right.
I went back to school for several reasons. I needed a network, and then I also needed some practical. I knew a lot of things that were not organized. So I think school helped me to be able to know where to put what is what, because I already have the idea about it. But then how do I make it to come out straight and work according to the way the structures operate? And the world operates on an order that you cannot just change it by yourself. There are structures
Yeah.
in business, especially, which is something that I also was interested in studying in school. I did a lot of courses on my own, and I even started studying computer engineering on my own as well. And there are certain, how can I put it? There are certain concepts that oriented according to certain modules. And when you pass through school, so to say, and you pass through these modules and everything else, you see that you grow more in your knowledge about those different things. And having gone to school as well, I haven't gone back to school, and uh, you know went on internship in different firms was a great
Right.
opportunity for me. I took several reasons for going back to school. Internships, to be specific to the African Leadership University, the model was go to school, stay in class for 4 months, get out of class, go stay in the field for 4 months as well, and then no, for 8 months, and then stay in the field for 4 months. That makes 12 months generally for each year. And that was something I was so much great about, because I needed a practical education. So I was tired of going to school and then copying notes and reading and coming back writing exams, but there was no practice that was incorporated in what I was learning.
Yeah.
So I wish that I knew that I needed quality education. I needed education and quality education to be able to be a better entrepreneur, which is what I'm becoming today. So that's a very great lesson that I've learned, and I want to pass it on to people who think that entrepreneurship is just about building starting a business and then trying to put things together. No, you need education, and it's very good to have education
Right.
that is also of great quality.
Right.
So another thing is, I wish I knew that I needed experience as well to be able to run a successful business. So this experience came as well through the different internships that I had with the help of my institution, the African Leadership University.
Right.
So the experience came through those internships, and I work with different people. I understand, operational structures in different companies, and I could learn quickly from how they did it, because I'm someone who learns so much from observing someone does something, and then I can easily just replicate the same thing and be able to contextualize it within my immediate environment. So this is something I learned, that it was not about just starting something and then learning on it. It's important to start something and learn on it, but it's even more better when you already practice it somewhere and then you now try to do it on your own from a different angle. So
Right.
I think I wish I knew that I needed experience to be able to start and grow a successful business.
I'd just like to ask, what advice would you like to give people who are looking into joining the entrepreneurial journey, or any aspiring young entrepreneurs? What advice would you give them? Like one key point you would let them take away.
I think that one thing they should know is that it should not, stroke them to go by the saying that people keep saying, you don't need money to start a business. I
Right.
totally disagree. No matter which business you want to start,
Mm-hmm.
you need a certain amount of, money, and plus, the human capital. So uh, a lot of businesses fail for several reasons, and one of the greatest reasons they fail is lack of money. So if you really want to start a business, you need to, grab some experience. You need quality education. I mean, not just, that's not definite, but you need education to a certain level it guarantees a certain level of success. Let them stop, using the Western world entrepreneurs as a yardstick for measuring. Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard, Bill Gates did same, so I don't need education to be a successful entrepreneur. That's completely insane. So I wouldn't advise someone to adhere to such mentality. You need to, save some money and grow your business. Yeah.
So, one last question before we love and leave you. What is the most impactful advice given to you that impacted your entrepreneurial journey? And what advice would you give an aspiring young entrepreneur?
So yeah, I was just, I keep saying that uh, there is no clear cut about entrepreneurship. So
Right.
my greatest advice is just to, let these people stop using the Western world entrepreneurs as the yardstick of measuring success. So let these people, these folks who are passionate about entrepreneurship, who wants to create value and sell to people,
Right.
be able to, first thing, should be able to save some money for their businesses if they want to start one. If you're working for a company and you feel like, I found this problem and I want to bring a solution to it and make it a business, you should be able to have saved some money. And that's great. If you're
Right.
working for a company, you should have acquired some skills, which will help you to, be potentially successful with the business that you're out to build. And also, they should get education, and also, if possible, quality education, because that is, another advantage to being successful with the business that you do. Because also, you get to build networks. You get to build networks through the different areas where you do internships, or the different students that you collaborate with on different projects that you're working on campus, and you build a lot of experience working on different projects as well. So education is quite important in this current age, especially in Africa, to be a successful
Right.
entrepreneur. Yeah, and also it would be a good attraction for investors in the future if they see your background, that you have quality education. They would be interested in investing in you, and yeah. So those are some things that I would like these people who are interested in entrepreneurship to retain. It is not absolute, but it's necessary.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Apartheid, for being with us today. You really brought in some insight and really dug deep into sharing what your story and your journey has been like with Bongalo. So I just want to thank you for that.
Yes, thank you very much. And I hope that you become a customer on Bongalo not long, if why not right now. So
Hopefully.
you should sign up on a platform and be able to search places, especially right now if you're visiting Kigali,
Right.
which is a very safe and secure place. So yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
All right, then, no problem. And that was Epafrit, founder of Bongalo, and he leaves us with a word. Invest in your education because you never know who you could meet or what you could learn. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. You can find us on Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts for exclusive access to the gems of knowledge we drop here. Remember to subscribe to this podcast on your preferred platform. This is the ALU podcast, Entrepreneurial Leadership in Africa, real stories, real experiences.